1,000 kilometers northeast of Port Moresby, Bougainville is on a quest to become the world's newest democracy.
Are people feeling confident about achieving independence soon? Yes, people of Bougainville are confident. They are in fact overconfident.
The region is home to the lucrative Panguna copper mine, shut down in the 80s after violence erupted over who was profiting from its riches. Up to 20,000 people died in a conflict between Bougainville separatists and PNG. The war ended with a peace deal in 2001.
The Bougainville War is officially over.
It gave the region greater autonomy and paved the way for a non-binding referendum to leave PNG, which was passed overwhelmingly.
People were voting freely, and the result was 97.7%. So that's a testimony of what the people of Bougainville want for the future of Bougainville.
But 5 years on, PNG is still yet to consider ratifying the results in Parliament, with many pointing to natural resources that would leave PNG with Bougainville and the precedent it could set for other resource-rich provinces as reasons for the delay.
And I have some issue that I must deal with. A question posed to us by certain provinces of autonomy.
In Bougainville's capital, Buka, everyday people have their concerns too.
Me playa ti hard work, no working sila business. Ti plus struggle.
Mechanic Joseph Rangish Sukuliana wants more detail on how the economy would benefit him. After years of instability, Bougainville's development has been sluggish. Just 10% of residents have access to electricity.
How me playa Brian Taki si ko logaman na gaman ni no luksabe lo mi playa olo.
As a sovereign nation, massive foreign investment would be needed to kickstart the economy. Some question whether its institutions are ready to manage the funds involved, as well as the environmental impact of future mining after years of degradation since Rio Tinto shut its operations at Panguna. But locals still say they want control.
People are confident because the leaders are voted freely by the people of Bougainville, and they are the people they want to serve them.
For months, officials have been consulting citizens on a draft constitution for the nation they hope to form. I've come to Brisbane, where Bougainville's Australian diaspora have gathered to meet with those officials and Bougainville's president, Ismail Torama. Anita Sales has come as part of Bougainville's delegation.
We go out with a series of questions, and those questions basically are about what it takes to be a country.
She says women have a big part to play.
Bougainville is a matrilineal society. It is very important that women take some center stage. We have women as presidents of our community governments, owners of land, businesses, big supermarkets. Because of the hardship of the crisis, women have really risen up.
Anita says economic issues are a big reason so many Bougainvilleans want to run their own affairs.
One of the biggest revenue source that we are looking at is in the tuna industry, but currently PNG is not really becoming a willing partner.
Now you are in Brisbane. Is it important that Bougainville elites who are around the world, in Australia and around the world, contribute?
Yes, I believe it is very important for Bougainvillean elite to contribute.
Yes, good to see you.
Nelly Tinga is a Bougainvillean living in Melbourne who's doing just that. She wrote to Bougainville's president inviting him to Australia. To her surprise, he wrote back.
Our views are so different from our people because we are exposed to seeing things from the outset, looking in. You don't have to be in PNG or Bougainville to be able to achieve something like this. Even though we live abroad, Bougainville is still home. I want to see the young ones go back Because the skills, we need the skills in order to get Bougainville forward. And that expertise, because we speak a different language. You know, being Bougainvilleans working abroad, when you go back, you can still relate to your own people. I personally would like to see, you know, the government create a way or a pathway for Bougainvilleans that are living abroad to contribute in their field of expertise.
Mary Jane Paro is one of those young people who've managed an education abroad. And hearing her speak is a potent reminder of the intergenerational ties to her country's history and its future.
Fortunately, my parents, before the crisis hit, my dad was in Rabaul and my mom came to Australia to go do her grade 11 and 12. So she had the opportunity to come out, but her parents, her siblings, the rest. Why am I getting? I didn't know I was going to be emotional.
That's okay. It's an emotional journey for all of you here.
Yes, my mom's parents, they were impacted. They had to be like, so they had to be like in the jungles hiding and all that with the rest of my mom's siblings. With my dad, he was the lucky one. He was in Rabaul, but not so lucky because when you're in PNG and things like this are happening back in your home, they experience things, but even though they're outside of Bougainville, just being from Bougainville, from Papua New Guinea. My dad was able to go back and see his mom, but for his dad, he passed away. Yes, but for my mom's parents, they made it through the crisis. I'm lucky, but the generational trauma.
Bougainville becomes independent. You are the future of Bougainville. How do you hope to contribute and give back to your country?
I just hope that whatever our president is deciding on, like they build good infrastructures and industries that we can go back and give back. Bougainville has a long way to go, but if we have the right people in place, anything can happen.
President Ishmael Turama believes he is the person who can take Bougainville all the way. Originally a soldier in the Bougainville Revolutionary Army, he was elected just after the referendum to finish the job he started as a young man. Facing a complex balancing act as negotiations with PNG over the region's future continue, he agreed to sit down with me in Brisbane to discuss the road ahead. Thank you so much, President Turama, for meeting with us today.
It's wonderful to be here.
Now, President Turama, Bougainville people have voted overwhelmingly to gain independence. Now there's sort of a bump along the way to that, and that is the ratification in the PNG Parliament. What has it been like from your meeting and discussions with the PNG leaders?
There's no ending part of it. Every process keeps evolving. Every agreement keeps evolving. If I pose a question to myself, I'll be asking, who is responsible for the whole mess? More than 15 to 20,000 lives have been lost. So you have to give back to Bougainville. Depriving the rights of the people within that context is really shameful. If the Parliament has contributed, the Parliament must now endorse the 97.7. We have done all that we can do. I am saying this confidently because I think it's likely to happen. Bougainville will never float away from East New Britain and New Ireland. No, we'll be there. It's all about getting us into another new relationship. If you cannot give Bougainville its freedom, you are doomed.
Bougainvilleans and yourself, your people are at this crossroads where it all is in the hands of the PNG Parliament. In the event that they do not vote for full independence for Bougainville, is there a risk of the possibility of going back into crisis again?
We have fought enough. I think we must move to a higher level into trying to manage whatever that could be seen as going back, not really going to war. But if the political agenda for the people, it's about people revolting. It's not about my leadership saying, no, you cannot do that, we cannot do that, no. It's the sentiments of the people. If it sits properly within that space, I think they will accept. But if it does not fit well into that space, then you will see people will revolt.
Bougainville copper mine has been at the center of this all, the crisis and what Bougainville is going through now. And it has also contributed in a very big way to help launch PNG's economy as well. Is that something that your government will look to boost its economy?
Panguna mine is one of those activities to safeguard or to materialize independence, because it has bankrolled PNG's economy, as well as Australia. Just by looking at it, it's how smart we can be to ensure that we can economically safeguard our people and invite investors coming in. We have these political aspirations there. It's a question of how I can economically empower the 97.7 and make sure it comes alive. Otherwise, we'll be just another banana republic. We have to control what is ours through the constitutional making process, so that we can be entitled and entrusted, to look after what is ours. And then we can open doors for credible investors. In Melanesian context, when you give a pig to me, I must slaughter the pig and give it to you. It's not the other way around, no. I want to control what is within Bougainville.
And speaking of the Bougainville copper mine, one of the issues that came up is because of the damages that it has done, the pollution and so forth.
We have the Australian government, we have its subsidiary arm, Rio Tinto, we have the government of Papua New Guinea. I think they are responsible. Looking back into legacy issues, what I wanted to see is, you come together, and if you want to talk about Bougainville, why not you empower Bougainville?
President Ismail Torama, thank you so much for your time with us in the ABC, and it's been an honor to talk to you.
My pleasure. Thank you.